Okay, students, we continue concept of definite integrals. Last class we have seen whenever we apply method of substitution, limits has to be changed. That's what important point we noted in the last class. We continue further more concepts concerned to definite integrals. And this is class number 27. Some more examples we add before we go to important properties of definite integrals. Find or evaluate. Find integration 1 to e. Find integration 1 to e 1 plus log x whole cube into 1 divided by x dx. Start with I. Let I equal to integration 1 to e 1 plus log x whole cube into 1 by x dx. Easily we can expect the substitution because the 1 by x is differentiation of log x, even including 1 also. So we shall put t equal to 1 plus log x. After this, differentiate. So dt by dx equal to 1 by x or dt equal to 1 by x into dx. Now more importantly, limits has to be changed. When x equal to 1, because lower limit of x is 1, use here t equals to 1 plus log 1. However, log 1 value is 0, so 1 plus 0, that is equal to 1. When x is 1, t is 1. Next, when x equal to e, because upper limit of x is e, t equals to 1 plus log e. But log e to the base e value is 1, means it is 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. So limits of x were 1 to e, limits of t are 1 to 2. Now integration 1 changes. Therefore now 1 changes to, or 1 becomes as I equals to integration. Limits of t are t equal to 1 to t equal to 2. One plus log x means t, that is t cube. Remaining is dt. So finally, integration of t cube is t to the power 4 divided by 4, limits 1 to 2. By 4 into upper limit put t equal to 2, value becomes 2 raised to 4. Lower limit put t equal to 1, value becomes 1 raised to 4. 1 by 4 into 2 power 4, 16, 1 power 4, 1. 16 minus 1 is 15. So final answer 15 divided by 4. Next problem. Find or evaluate. Find integration 0 to 1 cube root of tan inverse x into 1 by 1 plus x square dx. First step, take I. Let I equal to integration 0 to 1. If you want the cube root, can be written as whole to the power of 1 by 3. That is tan inverse x whole power 1 by 3 into 1 by 1 plus x square dx. Let's apply method of substitution. We need to put for tan inverse x. Put t equal to tan inverse x. Differentiate. So dt by dx equal to 1 by 1 plus x square. Therefore, only dt equals to 1 by 1 plus x square into dx. Importantly, limits must be changed. When x equal to 0, t becomes tan inverse of 0, but tan inverse of 0 is 0. Upper limit of x is 1. When x is equal to 1, t is equal to tan inverse of 1. How much tan was one value? Pi by 4. That is t equal to pi by 4. So limits of t are 0 to pi by 4, whereas limits of x were 0 to 1. Now integration I changes. Therefore now I changes to like this. I becomes integration. Limits of t are 0 to pi by 4. Tan inverse x means t power 1 by 3. Remaining is dt. And finally, integration of t to the power 1 by 3 is t to the power 1 by 3 plus 1. Means 4 by 3 divided by 4 by 3, limits 0 to pi by 4. 1 by 4 by 3 becomes 3 by 4. Put the limits. Upper limit pi by 4, value becomes pi by 4 to the power 4 by 3. Lower limit 0, 0 4. Any non-zero is 0. This cannot be simplified. So we shall retain as it is. Final answer 3 by 4 into pi by 4 to the power 4 by 3. We have next session. This topic, last session, concerned with important theorems or important properties of determinants. In fact, definite integrals. These are just like important properties of determinants. So similarly, we are going to establish important properties of definite integrals. Heading right, properties of definite integrals. There are 8 properties. First 3, they are very simple without proof. Rest we have with proof also. Right heading, important properties of definite integrals. important properties of definite integrals. First, second, third without proof, remaining are with proof, and most important for exam 6 marks. In 6 marks they will split the theorem as well as concerned problem. Both of them will carry 3 plus 3 marks. So these are important for exam. First 3 without proof as they are quite simple. First problem. You can symbolize it as also by the notation P1. And what it says that integration a to b f of x dx equal to integration a to b f of t dt, that is equal to integration a to b f of theta d theta and so on. This property's simple meaning is that here we have variable x, here variable t, here variable theta can become z, can become u, can become v, so on. Simple meaning is that in a definite integrals, whenever required, we can change one variable to other variable, but not every time. Only whenever required, we can change one variable into other variable, but value remain same. That's the meaning of this property number 1. It says that in a definite integral, one variable can be changed to other variable, but limits will remain unchanged. They remain same. Only x can become t, t can become theta, theta can become back x, and so on. For example, integration 0 to pi sin cube x dx can also be written as integration 0 to pi. Above theorem says that we can change if required, not every time. If required, we can change x variable to some other variable, say t variable. Now it becomes sin cube t dt. We come to now second property without proof P2. Second property just resembles your second property of determinant. Already told that these 8 properties are just like properties of determinant. First property of determinant says that value of determinant remains unaltered or unchanged when rows and columns are interchanged. Similarly, when variable is changed, value remains same. Whereas second property says that whenever limits are interchanged, value remains same but changes in sign. Second property. Integration a to b f of x dx equal to minus of integration b to a f of x dx. You can give a word for each property. This property named as change of variable property. Change of variable property. Means change of variable does not make change in value. Second one, change of limits property. Change of limits property. That means whenever we interchange lower and upper limits to upper and lower limits, value remains same but changes in sign. This is second property. Want to underline these properties? Second theorem meaning is that in a definite integral, whenever limits are interchanged, value remains same but changes only in sign. Like for example, integration 2 to 5 fifth root of x square dx. Not necessary to change the limits. If at all you want to change the limits, you must apply opposite side. Minus of integration 2 5 to 2 cube root of fifth root of x square. As another example, integration 0 to 100. Integration 0 to 100 log of x plus 1 dx. If at all this property is applied, means whenever you want to change the limits, sign changes, it is equal to minus of integration 100 to 0 log of x plus 1 dx. So change in limits gives change in sign. Change in variable does not make further any difference in answer of integration. Third property. These can be proved, but proof were not so required as far as examination is concerned. Third property. Third property is identical to your third property of determinant. In a determinant, if any two rows, two columns are same or identical, value becomes 0. Similarly, in a differential, if both lower and upper limits are identical, means same, value will be 0. Third property. Third one, P3. Integration a to a f of x dx equal to 0. Means whenever limits are same, value of integration becomes 0. For example, integration 15 to 15, whatever function it might be, bigger function, smaller function, any function, value remain 0. Say log of x square plus x plus 2 dx. Answer will be equals to 0 because both lower and upper limits are same. So first property says that in a different integral, one variable can be changed to other variable, but value remains same. Second property says that in a differential, whenever limits are interchanged, value remains same, but changes in sign. Third property says that in a differential, if two limits are same, its value is vanishing, that is 0. We come to 5 which prove important theorems. So theorem number 5, 6, 7, 8, they are important for 6 marks. 6 marks important for theory exam. And which theorem they ask, based on that there will be a problem. So problem number 4, P4. Again I repeat, these 5 theorems are important for 6 marks. Only theorem will not be given for 6 marks. Theorem and problem based on that theorem will be there. Both of them together will carry 6 marks. Right? Show them. Show that integration 0 to a f of x dx equal to integration 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So let's have this theorem proof. And after theorem proof, we will solve problem concerned with this theorem. what I do is that property number 4, problems on that, property number 5, problems on that, property number 6, problems on that, property number 7, problems on that, last week property number 8, problems on that, so that it will be easy for your understanding. So let's have this theorem proved. So what I do is that try to consider right hand side and we come back to left hand side by using suitable steps. Let I equals to right hand side integration equals to integration 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Say 1. Using some appropriate steps, I will transfer this integration to left hand side form. For that, we shall apply substitution method. Put t equal to a minus x. After putting compulsorily differentiate, on differentiation dt by dx equals to 0 minus 1 or dt equal to minus dx, but we want only dx, so dx equal to minus of dt. Very importantly, we should not keep the same limits. Limits has to be changed because we are changing from x variable to t variable when x equal to 0, t equal to a minus a, when a minus 0, that is a. How much upper limit of x? A. T becomes a minus a, that is 0. When x equal to a, t equals to a minus a, that is 0. So limits of x were 0 to a, limits of t are a to 0. Therefore now 1 changes to I equals to integration a to 0 means t equal to a to t equal to 0 f of what is a minus x t, remaining dx variable becomes minus of dt variable. Further, I equals to minus is kept outside, integration a to 0 f of t dt. Let's apply second property. By second property, what it means, in a definite integral, if limits are changed, sign will changes. Minus of minus integration 0 to a f of t dt, since using p2, that is second property. But in exam, don't write like p2, write that property, actually property. Write actual property. What is actual property? Integration a to b equal to minus of integration b to b. That is minus of minus plus integration 0 to a f of t dt. Now let's apply property number 1. By property number 1, we can change t variable to x variable. So let us change t to x. Change t to x by property number 1. On changing t variable to x variable now, I becomes as integration 0 to a f of x dx. Since by property number 1 as well as by theorem number 1, I means what? I means integration 0 to a f of a minus x dx equal to integration 0 to a f of x dx. That's the required theorem. And in theory exam, in that no doubt, which property they will give, there will be a problem based on that property only. There will not be a problem concerned to other property which they are asking to prove. Let's come to problems based on property number 4. And once again I explain this property. We are going to show that integral 0 to a f of x equal to 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Take right hand side, put t equal to a minus x, differentiate, dx becomes minus dt. More importantly, limits has to be changed when x 0, t a, when x a, t 0. So I becomes as integration a to 0 f of t minus dt. Then we apply second property, means change of limits property. Then we get minus plus f of t dt. We apply first property, means we can change t variable to x variable, so that we get exactly our required result of theorem, namely integration 0 to a f of a minus x equal to 0 to a f of x dx. Now let's come to problems on problem number 4. And before we come to problems on problem number 4, let's try to understand this problem meaning. You can write property meaning in the English sentence if you want. See, integration 0 to a limits, here also integration 0 to a limits, function f means if f is sine, here also sine, if f is root, here also root, if f is log, here also log, if f is sine inverse, here also sine inverse, etc. And here variable is x, and here instead of x it changed to a minus x. So in spite of x become a minus x, in between these what condition we have? Equality, means both of they are same, means equal. So this property says that in a definite integral, whenever we can change, in a definite integral we can change x to a minus x. What is a? Upper limit. We can change x to upper limit minus x, provided lower limit must be equal to 0. You write below that if you want, that is x can be changed to a minus x. What is a? Upper limit. That is, x can be changed to, maintain the same sentence, x can be changed to upper limit minus x. Provided lower limit has to be 0. Provided lower limit must be 0. So this property simple meaning is that in a definite integral, whenever required, we can change a variable to upper limit minus variable, provided lower limit should be 0. But you don't think that this property we are going to use always. Not always, only when required. When required, this can be used. And it can be used in the format, we can change x to a minus x. You write, for example, integration 0 to 5. Integration 0 to 5 cube root of x square plus x dx equal. Keep in mind, don't think that this theorem we have to apply here. Not necessary. If at all you want to apply, meaning is that change x to a minus x means change x to 5 minus x because a is 5. Replace x by 5 minus x, that is equal to integration 0 to 5 without changing any quantity of function. Function nature remains same, only x become 5 minus x. Cube root of 5 minus x whole square plus of 5 minus x dx. Another example, integration 0 to pi by 2. Integration 0 to pi by 2 sin x power 4 dx. It is not necessary to use that theorem. If at all you want to use, meaning is that you have to change x to pi by 2 minus x. Change x to pi by 2 minus x. Because here upper limit is pi by 2. So that is equal to integration 0 to pi by 2 sin of pi by 2 minus x whole power 4. And if there is any chance of simplification, you have to put it using allied angles. What is sin of pi by 2 minus theta cos theta? So it becomes now integration 0 to pi by 2 cos x power 4 dx. So 0 to pi by 2 sin x power 4 equally same as 0 to pi by 2 cos x power 4. And now onwards keep in mind, whenever we have limit 0 to pi by 2, sin becomes obviously cos, cos becomes sin, because sin of pi by 2 minus theta, cos of pi by 2 minus theta, sin theta. If we have tan, tan become cot, cot become tan. If we have sec, sec become cosec, and cosec becomes sec because of property pi by 2 minus theta. Sin of pi by 2 minus theta, cos of pi by 2 minus theta, sin theta, and so on. Now let's come to problems using property number 4. Before we come to problems on this property, we had two useful points or important points. First point, integration 0 dx means integration of 0 without limits, always constant c, but importantly integration a to b 0 dx will be always equal to 0. Keep this fact in mind. Integration of 0 without limits constant, but with limits 0. How means? See here. Say this answer of integration is c under limits a to b. You have to put limits for x, not for constant c. So at upper limit c remains c. At lower limit, c remains c. At lower limit also c remains c. What is c minus c? 0. So this is a very important point. Without limits, integration of 0 is constant. With limits, integration of 0 will be equal to 0. Second note, integration a to b, f of x dx plus or minus integration a to b, g of x dx equals to, observe limits a and b, limits a and b. So whenever limits same for both integration, we can make common integration. That is a single integration a to b. Single integration a to b, f of x dx, f of x plus or minus g of x dx. But provided for both integration, limits must be same. We can extend. If there is one more integration, say a to b, h of x dx, we can write here plus or minus h of x dx and so on. For example, write for example integration 2 to 3, integration 2 to 3 f of x dx plus integration 2 to 3 g of x dx. It is equals to integration 2 to 3 f of x plus g of x dx. And if we have minus, it becomes f of x minus g of x, either plus or minus. And one more important part, keep in mind, you try to utilize the theorems in both directions. Means integration a to b f of x plus g of x can be written as, sometimes if required, a to b f of x plus a to b g of x and so on. Whichever theorem, whatever results are there in mathematics, you will try to use in both direction, not only in single direction. Now let's come to problems on property number 4. Another example, right? Another example, integration 0 to 3 f of x dx plus integration 10 to 20 g of x dx. This is never equal. It cannot be written as 0 to 20 or 3 to 10 or 10 to 20. Impossible to write because limits are dissimilar. So this is never equals to integration 0 to 20 f of x plus g of x. Whereas earlier one was holds because limits were same, but limits are different. You can't add the functions. Let's come to problems based on property number 4. I hope you are understanding the concepts without any difficulty. Heading right, problems using the property or theorem or a rule. Problems using the property integration 0 to a f of x dx equals to integration 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Already told that in exam which theorem they will ask, based on that there will be a problem for 6 months. And we have some specific steps or proper working method for upcoming problems. Observe here. First step is that you take every problem as integration 0 to a f of x dx. Start with I. Next step, change x to a minus x. This is what theorem says. Change x to upper limit minus x. That is I equal to here f of x. And I equal to integration 0 dA f of a minus x dx. Now importantly, simplify f of a minus x. Simplification will be in that particular problem. It may be LCM method, it may be trigonometrical formula method, it may be any other method. Simplify f of a minus x. After f of a minus x simplification, if this becomes other than f of x, say it becomes 0 to g of x dx. So this is 1, this is 2. And after simplification, if f of a minus x will be other than f of x, say g of x, then most number of times we shall add equations 1 and 2. And even after simplification, if f of a minus x remains the same, we have to think of some other steps other than adding 1 and 2. What some other step, it will be in that particular problem. But 99% sure, adding 1 and 2, provided after simplification, f of a minus x must be different from f of x. And after adding, simplify and put the limits, get the result of integration. You write a working method for the problems. Problems on problem number 4. It's actually P4. Working method for the problems. First step, let I equal to integration 0 to f of x dx. Call 1. This is given integration. Without given, we can't continue any steps. Next step, change x to a minus x in the function f of x. That is, I becomes as integration 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Next step, simplify f of a minus x. What kind of simplification you will come to know in that particular problem? It's a method. Simplify f of a minus x by known methods. It may be LCM method, it may be trigonometrical formula method, it may be algebra method, or it may be some other methods. Simplify f of a minus x by known methods. Next step, if f of a minus x equal to g of x, but not equal to f of x. You call this S2. Here only you can call. If f of a minus x become other than fx, say g of x, then add integrals 1 and 2. And after adding integrals, simplify, integrate by known methods, put the limits and get the answer. Next step, after adding. But keep in mind, you are supposed to add only when f of a minus x not equal to f of x, means other than f of x. For example, integration 0 to pi by 2 sin square x dx. Here this is I. Next change x to pi by 2 minus x. What is sin pi by 2 minus x? Cos x. What we get? Integration 0 to pi by 2 cos square x dx. Observe. What is f? Sin. What is f of a minus x? Cos. We can add these integrations. Like that. If it were 0 to pi, evaluate integration 0 to pi and what is sin of pi minus x? Sin x. Now you cannot add these. So when you can add only when f of a minus x not equal to f of x. After adding, simplify and integrate. What is the expression you get? Simplify, integrate and substitute limits to get desired result or desired answer, whichever you can write. So this is the way of solving questions based on problem number 4. In the next class we shall see some more number of examples on problem